3 hours later, and we are back where we started. I think I've caught one fish since then, and that is it. So we're back here because we know there was a ton of fish here earlier. We know there's a ton of bait here, and we know that there was at least some feeding activity earlier. I have seen bait pretty much everywhere, but nothing feeding on it. So hopefully we'll come across a red or two in here. That's really the goal for the remainder of the day. And man, I'm just not finding anything for now. Kind of one of those cursed things where you get on them as soon as you start and you don't find them again for the rest of the day. But all you got to do to fix that is just keep trying. So I am going to be doing some blind casting, but ultimately I'm trying to find somewhere to sight fish. Oh, that was definitely a hit. Ugh. I hope it's not one of those days where it's just nothing but hits and no real strikes. That was, whatever that was, it was heavy. Oh, what is that? Oh my gosh. Look at that trout. Oh, that came out of absolutely nowhere. I don't know how I even landed that fish. We have just been kind of meandering, and that trout just came and smoked it and then just kind of laid down and died. I didn't know what was going on. And that trout landed right on my shirt, so that's going to be a stinky shirt. That is a nice trout for the marsh right now. Let's see, I bet it's 14 or 15. Yeah, 14 and a half. Beautiful, beautiful trout. It's all we're catching today, but I'm not mad about it. So right now it's about 10 o'clock. Usually I just give myself a couple hours after 10, a couple hours after 10. Slurring my words because I'm tired. This water isn't all that clean, so really the only way to find absolutely clean water is to find areas with lots and lots of grass. And because the grass died last year, I don't really know where the grass is. Part of my exploring today was just trying to find where I would find clean water for future trips in the summer. But if I want to catch some more fish, which I do, I probably need to go where I know there's grass. And so once we make it out into this main bay over here, or actually I should say lagoon, that is Stump Lagoon in front of me. As we make it there, we'll crank the outboard and I'm going to head to where I know there's clean water, or have a hunch that there will be at least cleaner water. Because as always, I want to sight fish. Oh, there's one. Oh my goodness, it's a big one. Holy cow. Oh, I hope I got a good hook set. I was really just feeling sorry for myself, quite honestly. The struggle is always worth it. It's always worth it. Oh boy, and this is going to be a struggle. This is a big fish. I may have to follow him with the trolling motor. He's getting it down in all that grass. It's all right. I got 20-pound line on. I'm not super worried about that part. I think we have what it takes to wear this one down. He just saw me for the second time. Oh man, this just feels really good, y'all. And it might even be the last fish. I don't know yet. Still got that bayou I was talking about. Well, let me break this catch down. If I land it, let's assume that I do. Oh, this is a big fish. Oh, he's smart too. He knows how to fight. My net is nowhere to be seen. Anyway, when I came into this main lagoon, I was just kind of complaining that I haven't seen any. I saw feeding activity over here. And that's why I was just blind casting. I didn't know where he went. I did see his activity though. And he was right where I saw him. He hadn't really moved far. And I was just making pretty quick blind casts. Oh, he wants to go under the boat, and I can't have that. I have trim tabs, and they will just slice this line if he gets under it. I've been waiting to do that. I always do that flip, and finally I've messed it up. Oh, but we got him almost. It's a male. Oh. All day long. It took me 2 hours. We got him. He's big too. This would be a tournament red for sure. Oh boy, and that came right out. Gotta catch my breath. Look at this. This is a 26-inch red, and this is why I came out here. Beautiful fish. I'm not going to keep it. Let's let it go. You can see how tired I am. Losing my balance. Made that mistake with the net. That should be a good little joke on the YouTube shorts. But man, I talk about it all the time. This isn't really a fishing thing. This is a life thing, but perseverance. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. The whole reason I'm out here, it has been a really, really hard month, especially the last couple of weeks. Found out yesterday a friend of mine passed away. So I needed that. Thank y'all for watching. Let's see if we can catch some more. Now this water is definitely clean enough where I should be able to sight fish, but the waves are just too much, too beaucoup. I'm going to switch to a shrimp even though the spoon worked. And I'm switching to the shrimp because the strikes I get on it are unmistakable, and we're getting out of the grass, so I don't have to worry too much about getting grass all in here. We got a battle here of tide versus wind. Tide wants to take me in, the wind wants to push me out. Oh, there's one. There's one. That's why I wanted to switch to the shrimp. He's a feisty one too, little bitty trout. Marsh is full of these right now, y'all. Marsh is absolutely stocked. A little trout, and he inhaled it. There we go. Yeah, I would have been itching to get off 2 little trout. Now, earlier today, I was talking about how these can... I stopped using this in that feeding frenzy at the beginning of the day because while I was getting hits almost every time, it was just a pain to keep putting it back on the hook. And so that dental floss and super glue technique really worked. You can see that didn't shift off the hook at all. And it doesn't do anything to the bite. They're hitting it because they think it's a shrimp. They don't really care if you got super glue on it or not. Look at all this fry right here. I mean, everywhere we've gone, just bait galore. It's everywhere. Yeah, it's interesting, you know, I've caught a lot of baby trout in this area. But this is an area you basically cannot get to in the wintertime, which is when all these trout would be nice and fat. Ooh, I just saw a red. No, that's a trout. There's one. Got one. I saw a bigger trout. Look at that. I saw those trout feeding near the surface. This one probably would have been a keeper with the old rules, but not the old rules. Yeah, if you could get to this spot in the wintertime, I bet you would just load up. Yeah, I talk about this a lot. It looks like that water's going out, but it is definitely not. That's just the wind blowing the surface of the water. The underlying water is still coming in, and you can see that by watching my line. It's getting pushed. There's one. Gotta be a trout. Yep. Man, the marsh is full of little trout right now. All right, good. I didn't want to get him off the hook anyway. Now look, that's 3 trout in a row. That TKO is still doing fine. Cheap little trick to make these lures last forever. And they're such cheap lures. You can make them last forever. You really save yourself a lot of money. All right, hoping we get a slot red between here and the opening of this bayou, but probably won't. And that's all right. We got 3 trout. That's plenty enough. Make a meal for me, my wife, and my daughter. And that's all I need. Oh boy, whatever that was, tattooed it. Jeez. I mean, there he is. He came back for it. Oh. Oh. I was about to say that had to be a trout. That's what they do. I'm not getting these trout in the boat, but they're not keepers anyway. But that's why I wanted to go outside, and you know, I eventually gave it a shot. Probably will cut all of that out for you guys because there wasn't nothing doing out there. The water was all filthy and oh! Stop trolling water, you're gonna cut my line. All right, there's some trout, I'm guessing, right here on this ledge. It's give it a few tries. You can kind of see here why they might be staged here. That swirl. Calm current on this side, heavy current on the other. There's one. Oh my gosh. They're all on the bottom and they're ambushing straight up. Give this a few more casts to see if I can land a keeper. I don't think we will though. These are all juveniles, big ones. Oh, there's one on that the whole time. This one looks keeper-ish. Yes. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. Right at 13, saved. All right, now 4 keeper trout. I'm not tearing them up by any means. We've caught a ton of fish, just not a ton of keepers. But I am happy to get one more keeper. Let's see if we get a few more. Didn't expect to end the trip exactly like this, but it's how I wanted to end the trip. There's one. Man, this is fun, y'all. Not a lot of keepers, but I'll catch 4 or 5 more of these just for fun. They're not going to be here forever, so we'll catch a few more. It's always 3 cast rule in these situations. As soon as you go 3 casts without catching one, go ahead and leave. All right, that didn't count as the 3rd throw. This is the last throw, and then we're going to go. Really did a lot today. Didn't fill the box, but got enough for a good meal. My daughter's gonna have a little buddy over, fry some fish for them tonight. They'll be happy. I'll be happy. Oh, that was it. Boy, yeah, it just drops off very deep right there, and that was a fish that was on. That looks like a keeper too. Wow. Another 13-incher. I'm going to keep it 2. And these are right at 13 inches. This is kind of nuts. I mean, they are in a very clear area, and hopefully I'll be able to find the spot where I said this, but I did say today, I think if we find them, they're all just going to be stacked up. And there's something right here in this swirl where it gets real deep, and that's where they are. This reminds me of my first ever saltwater fishing trip. This is one of those trips that you hear people talk about, but you'll almost certainly never see again. My dad took me and his fishing buddy down to Fouchon and fished the jetties down at Fouchon. It was the first time I saw dolphins. I remember those oil boats. Well, I wouldn't call them tankers, but they weren't crew boats either, but either way, I remember just being completely slack-jawed at the size difference between their boat and ours. But we got on a bite that was hotter than this. This is a hot bite, though. That one fought hard, but he's not a keeper. Oh, go ahead, dude. All right, that was 3 more when I said 5, so we got 2 more to catch or 3 more casts. But either way, that fishing trip I'm talking about, I caught 200 trout that day. Most of them were white trout, but a good bit of specks mixed in, and all I was doing was dropping it off the side of the boat and picking it up. And I was fishing with some lure. Maybe some of y'all, oh boy, that trout hit it hard. Maybe some of y'all know this lure I'm talking about. It was colored kind of like a shrimp. Kind of brownish reddish color with maybe a white belly. But it had a treble hook on the bottom and a J hook in the middle. It was ribbed like a shrimp mold. No idea what that lure is called. I don't think I ever fished with it before then, and I don't think I ever fished with it after. These aren't as easy to find as those, and the keeper rules are different. I don't know what the rules were back then. Oh, there's one on. Some of these are hitting real hard and some are hitting and just kind of swimming down to the bottom. This is why I fish with ultra high vis line though. Almost works like a cork. Okay, I think this is the last cast. I haven't gone 3 casts without a hit since we started catching them right here. Almost certainly the edit of this will be pretty much real time. But you know, while I'm not catching a ton of keepers and all of these are really just borderline keepers, it's still fun. And if you have a kid or something, this is an easy way to fish with them. They don't have to do much, just pick it up, put it down. All right, I'll give it one more cast right here. Oh, that a hit? I saw it. There he is. Yep, they just moved. He's almost a keeper, not quite. Would have been, all of these would have been keepers except for a handful just last year. That's not much. Okay, so one more, or 3 casts, whichever comes first. But yeah, they just moved. And that happens. Sometimes you get on these trout bites and that school is just kind of moving around. They're not going to be completely static. There's one. This one feels nice. Oh, there's another little trout checking them out. Oh my gosh. All right, I have to just stay here and catch a few more. Because another trout came up and looked at it. There are a lot of trout right here. And most of the time I don't actually want to fish with a buddy. I mean, after I caught that red, you're going to see some emotion on my face. You know, it's been a hard couple of weeks, and hearing about my buddy, guy was only 36 years old. But anyway, I'm talking about that because I actually, oh my gosh, really don't like fishing with other people, mainly because it's hard to film this channel with a bunch of other people. Yeah, the wind's trying to tell me it's time to go. So 2 more casts or fish, whatever comes first. I'll hold to it this time. Golly, there were 3 of them that came after it. A little bitty one. We can't end on that. I just don't want to stop catching these fish, y'all. And again, how many trout have we caught? That lure is just fine. This lure will last forever. And because we washed it off and got all the salt off, I can fish with this forever. All right, so anyway, this would be a good time to fish with a buddy though. Mainly because you can try different lures, see if one's hitting a little bit faster than the other. And one can be fishing there, one here, and you can kind of follow them as they move. They don't stay static. They're not just going to be in one spot forever, unless it's that mythical Fushan trip that I had. One more cast. Really didn't want to end on a super small one, but hey, whatever. Just happy to be out here. There's one. All right. And that, my friends, is the last fish. Not a keeper, maybe not even a keeper. Yeah, definitely not a keeper even with the old rules. What a day. What a day, what a day. I could sit here and keep catching, but it's time to go. So, thank y'all for watching. As always, please consider liking and subscribing. there's a good chance that after this episode I get to 900 subscribers, and then I think I only got to put 3 more episodes out and we'll get to 1,000. So all of you who have subscribed, thank you. All of you who haven't yet, please do. And I think what I'm going to do for the 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a little giveaway. One of the things I do, I don't show very often on the channel anymore, but when I come across trash, especially corks and things like that, I always grab them. Make sure this is recording. But so I have just a plethora of like 4 Horseman corks, Cajun Thunder, stuff like that. I'll probably just give away a tackle box whenever we get to 1,000. So help me get there, and then yeah, we'll do that contest. So yeah, until next time, catch y'all later.